The Doak Walker Award semifinalist list has been released, and here are the, oh, that's beautiful. These are the 10 graphics. These are in alphabetical order from left to right on the top and then the bottom. Brooks and Brooks. There are 4 running backs. If you look, Jonathan Brooks, Taj Brooks, Ollie Gordon II, and R.J. Harvey, who's made a nice run, literally, at UCF. 4 Big 12 running backs in that mix. The most yards rushing, Ollie Gordon and Omarion Hampton both have the most at 1,414. Everybody has at least 1,100 or more yards, except Blake Corum, 888. He shares a lot of carries with Edwards, but he has scored 20 rushing touchdowns. Most yards rushing per game, Gordon and Hampton. Most yards per carry. The leader in the country is Jaden Daniels in a lot of the scrambles. Ollie Gordon among that group is the highest at 6.7. Corum the lowest. He's 75th in the country. Finalists will be announced next Tuesday. There's your list. Those are the images. And, man, I have a vote, and I don't right now know what I will do because it all just depends. Is it your bang for your buck? Is it overall yards? Is it a combination of that and touchdowns? Is it who you play for? How would you vote, Paul?
I really like Martinez a lot. I like him. He'd be up on my list. I do think, though, if I had to, voting for one guy, I'm going to pick Ollie Gordon just because he is, of all the guys on that list, the one who the offensive engine clearly runs through him. Now, Omarion Hampton at North Carolina has been fantastic and really good, but he also plays with Drake May. So, there's all those things. Jonathan Brooks has been great. Taj Brooks, great. But to me, Ollie Gordon's the engine that runs that whole offense at Oklahoma State. In the games where he doesn't play well, they take L's. So, or he's, didn't have that many carries. So if you look at their record this year, when Ollie Gordon goes, so go the Pokes.
Yeah, good to see Cody Schrader in there from Mizzou as well. Yeah. What a season that they've had, former Big 12 school there. But I think, Taj Brooks also has had a fantastic year. That's not where my vote would go. I just want to make mention of him, though, because he has had a terrific year, and without him, Texas Tech is not in line to make a bowl game. Their problems at quarterback with the injuries and just what they were dealing with there. Lost some close games early, but he's been the steady hand the entire time for them and the guy that they can rely on offensively. So very deserving for him. And, Jonathan Brooks, the injury sucks. You wonder what he could have done, this stretch run, especially with what Texas is playing for, had he been able to stay healthy. I love Damian Martinez, love him, glad he's getting love. It's much deserved. He doesn't have a lot of scores because that's just kind of the way the Oregon State offense operates, but he gets them into position more often than not to score, and probably should have had a few more carries the other night if we're being honest. But I go Ollie Gordon. I think for the reasons that Paul mentioned. I mean, he's at the top yardage-wise. He and Hampton are both tied in touchdowns as well with 15. He didn't have a great game a couple weeks ago, but he bounced back really well last week and got them back on track. And I just think he's been a great story. I think he's got very little help around him in the Drake May comparison. I agree with that. That's kind of where I would split my vote as well. And he's got them, in line to win this weekend and go play for a Big 12 championship. And without him, there is zero chance. Now, there might be zero chance without Omarion Hampton for North Carolina to reach their goals as well. But, Ollie Gordon, you talk about a most valuable player. Oh, I know that's not what this is, but he's that guy. He's the MVP type of a guy. And so, yeah, I would have him as my vote getter.
Jonathan Brooks has been incredibly consistent. His first couple of games, the Alabama game had 57 yards and scored against Rice, 52 yards. Had nothing there. But then he went on a tremendous run, even against Oklahoma, 129 and a touchdown. And then after the game with Wyoming, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 consecutive games of 98 or more yards. He had a couple of back-to-back games with 2 touchdowns against KU and Baylor. I'm telling you, if you're like, okay, let's add 130 yards on to Jonathan Brooks last week in their game and the win against Iowa State, if that's the case. Although, obviously, Cedric Baxter was very good in what he did. So everybody on this list has a case. That's why they're on the list. There's 10. They'll cut it to 3 next Tuesday. They will announce the 3 finalists for that specific award.
Was a little bummed to see Trey Benson not on the list, but he plays in a team that throws the ball a little bit more. So.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that there's probably 6 or 7 other names in that 1,100 yard category. I went really deep into all of this. how average yards per carry, etc. Gordon the most, then Martinez, Hampton, Harvey, and Brooks all in the top 25. Carroll and Corum are 71 and 75 in the country per yards per carry in their career. Taj Brooks is 44. Everybody has a story to tell. Here are the 5 finalists for the Butkus Award for the best linebacker in the country in college football. You have Missouri, Clemson, Washington, Mississippi State, and North Carolina State in the mix here. That Trotter from Clemson is somebody that I voted to get into the finalist group. There's a couple of others on that list too, including Peyton Wilson, who's really good at NC State.
Yeah, actually, I'll just tell you, like, this isn't one of those secret ones like the Heisman. So I'll just tell you, when I do vote for this one, I'm voting Trotter, Wilson, Hooper. I'm not going to say his name, Washington, and then then Watson.
Ulafosio?
Yes.
Ulafosio, thank you.
Yeah, I haven't done the breakdown. I don't have a vote.
Yeah.
I don't vote for any awards. So, yeah, I haven't done the full breakdown, but just based on the eye test and just the word around the streets and just the chatter all season long, I feel like Trotter would be the guy I would hey, go pick somebody to win this award. I think Trotter would be first up for me. Now, it can change if you get into the nitty-gritty of looking at individual games and highs and things like that. But I haven't done that, so I'm not well equipped enough to break this down any further. But if you told me Jeremiah Trotter Jr. won this award, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. That sounds about right.
By the way, somebody brought up the image. I've shown you a graphic on Taj Brooks, who leads the country in most missed tackles as far as broken tackles, yards after contact, as far as that is concerned. So there's another one there. Jordan Travis was already a guy